you discover that the color of the earwax is usually dark brown.
Yes.
For people that stay in maybe what do we call them now? Temperate regions. The color of the airwax may not be as dark because of the presence of dust as much as we have down here. So what it does is the wax collects debris and it keeps your ear moist. Because without the wax, your ear will be very dry and flaky. All right. So it's actually something that the skin produces normally called sebum. We also have that on our skin. That's what moisturizes our skin naturally. And so it has a protective function. So, and then the ear is designed in such a way that it can clean itself. So when there is a buildup of wax, after some time, it is pushed towards the external ear. And then the external ear, when it gets there, it dries off and then it falls off by itself. So where there's a problem is when somebody is actually producing excessive wax, such that it's now beginning to cause maybe a blockage of the ear. But we are not even supposed to be cleaning our ears with, to remove wax at all. And you cannot, remove all the wax in your ear. You should not even remove all the wax in your ear because it has protective functions for your ear.
Okay, wow, that's really amazing. Okay, so to my second to the last question, sir, is Meniere's disease? There's this disease MENIERE. Is it a type of ear disorder? Yeah.
Yes, Meniere's disease is a type of ear disorder. It's characterized with dizziness or vertigo. We have fluctuating hair losses. We also have one of the signs that the patient will be seeing is that they also have they feel some kind of pressure on their ear, and then there is also the question of balance. So it's an ear disorder. It's not a hearing disorder because it affects more than just hearing. It affects balance too.
Wow.
So yes, it is a type of ear disorder.
Ear disorder. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. So to my last question, sir, in the part of taking care of the ear, what can we do towards taking care of the ear? Because most times people make use of cotton bud to clean the air. So is that the only thing that should be done to cleaning the air? Like, are there ways we can clean our air, keep our air safe? Are there things we can do, stuff like that, sir?
All right. Yes, there are things that we can do. As much as possible, I think we should allow the ear, first things first, we should understand what the ear does. It's important that people can read this up too. So I would encourage anyone who's listening to us to actually just check online to see what the ear does. The ear is designed, like I said, to clean itself. So we don't really have to do a lot of cleaning for the ear because it can clean itself. All right, so that should not really be a strong focus. Other things that we can do for the ear is to avoid staying in a place where there's consistent noise. So for those who work in very noisy environments, that's why they have ear muffs to cover their ears. So factories and co. I know that a lot of the way the world is going virtual, a lot of us have to use earpieces and earbuds. Plugged in, and there's direct sound impinging on the eardrum. As much as possible, we should keep it at healthy volumes so that we do not perforate the eardrum with the sound that we are pouring into the air. Other things that we can do, I think whatever you do to your skin naturally to keep it moist, you should also do to your external ear. Just keep it at the external part of your ear. What other things can we do? Yes, maintain a healthy lifestyle so that you are not predisposed to terminal diseases because of the lifestyle that we adopt. Then I think it's also important because there's a very close relationship between the ear, the nose, and the throat. If you even have to see a doctor, most likely you're going to see a doctor who is proficient in all of the three. So if you have nose blockage, for example, it will affect how clearly you can hear. And so if you have any problem with the nose and with the throat, it's likely that you're going to have some symptoms in your ear too. So I think it's good when people actually go see doctors for these problems. Then for those who have excessive wax production, such that it's blocking the ear, what they can do is they should see a doctor who would help them to remove the wax professionally. They shouldn't use a cutting board, because cutting board will actually just push the wax into their ears. So there's a way it's done in hospital that will protect the eardrum, and the person will be safe. And then, of course, please protect your ear from pressure, blows. Avoid fights. It's dangerous for the ear. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for that explanation, sir. Okay, so I will need you to give a general advice to my listeners, sir. A general advice, sir.
Sorry, I didn't hear that again. Please say
a general advice to my listeners on this topic.
You want me to give them ear advice?
Yes, a general advice, a roundup, like a rounding up the discussion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, so generally speaking, since we're talking about your health, I think it's important that we all take responsibility for our health. It's important that we know that our body expects us to take care of it, because we're the ones who have the brain. So if you cannot take care of your body, it's like your suit, your earth suit. So if you just use it, all that you do is use it, in a matter of time, it's going to wear off. And then when a body wears off, it's the next thing is that your spirit or your soul cannot be hosted in that body, and then it has to leave. That's what death is all about.
Yeah.
So it's important that we take responsibility for our bodies. Take intentional efforts to take care of your body. Don't just allow things to happen to your body. Make efforts to study yourself, understand your body, how it functions, and do well to take care of your body intentionally. And I think it's important that we learn to invest also in our body, just to keep it healthy, so that we can live long to do the things that we have to do.
All right.
Yes, I think that would be it.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for joining me live on the show this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's nice having you, and I hope that next time you will
Thank you so much.
accept our invite. Next time we want you to join, to come on, to say something on our show once again. You'll be willing to talk and to speak with us.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, you've heard it all from my guest, a doctor in training, Itunolu Okpeyemi Omolade, who joined us live on the show today as we discuss and answer questions as regarding ear disorder, and I hope we've picked one or two things. This podcast episodes are free episodes, so you can always come back anytime and click on our link and listen to any of our health podcast episode that interests you. We have a whole lot of episodes for you on ulcer, why suicide, depression. We have questions. We have health podcast on asthma. We have on diet and health condition, allergy. We have questions. We have a whole lot of podcast episode on health. So you can't afford not to click our link every time. Just listen. Just like my guest said this morning, you need to pay good attention to our health, because the truth is that death is about events or circumstances that can happen that can make our spirit to leave our body. That is, it can make us the body not comfortable enough for the spirit to stay inside, and that is why we need to take our health so serious. And I hope we've learned one or two things from today's podcast episode. Okay, Tea Talk Show podcast health episode continues tomorrow morning 9 a.m. What? As we discuss earwax. On the show tomorrow, we're gonna be considering earwax. We're gonna be looking in depth into earwax, because what are the health benefits to earwax? That's all we're gonna be discussing tomorrow morning 9 a.m. What? So please keep this time in mind. For everyone who follows my show on my WhatsApp TV WhatsApp community, please don't come latest 10 and start wondering, are we done? The podcast episode, our show is always 9, and once it's 9:30 we are done. So don't come around 10 and start questioning me that are you live, are you off? Please and please, you should know that the show is 9 to max 9:30. We don't anything after 10, please, we are off. So you can always click the link and access our podcast episode. We won't have to always be sharing links every time, so we will need you to to do your own part, because it's a free podcast. We've done our own part by providing a podcast episode that is very important for your health. So do your own part by always clicking links and checking things up by yourself. Don't come when it's 11 and start asking me that, okay, are you done now? The show is 9, so we can't spend 3 hours on the one thing. We need to move and do other important things that still have to do with the show. So please and please, friends, listeners, fans, please do well to always check our links as early as possible. Once it's 9, we are live. Just click the link and join us. And if you missed any of the episode, you can always click the same link, the same URL link, to access any of our podcast episode, the one you miss, and other amazing podcast episode on health that is important to you. Don't forget, you are the one that will make the spirit, you make your body so comfortable for the spirit to reside in heat. So, and that is why you need to take your health very, very, very serious. Okay, so till tomorrow, when we discuss another important topic as regarding your health. I remain Sanusi Rebecca Titilayo. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in live, and thank you so much for listening and downloading this podcast episode. I remain your friend. Have a wonderful day today. See you tomorrow. Bye.